Rates of stillbirth are higher in Wales than the rest of the UK. Ruth knows this only too well. She lost her twin boys in 2018. Now she's joining calls on the government to act. Drowning in their own rubbish. Why this estate hasn't had bin collections since April. And how LA-based Sir Anthony Hopkins keeps in touch with his beloved birthplace, virtually.
I Google map, as you can Google things now. I go to streets and I move up the street. The photographs of my streets in Wales or anywhere really. But I'm always going back there.
And come rain or come shine, 25,000 people are here to have a brilliant time as Green Man returns for another year.
Good evening and welcome to the programme. Having a child is supposed to be the happiest of times, but when things go wrong, there is a lasting trauma. The impact of losing a baby late in pregnancy is immense for families. Tonight, a mother from Merthyr Tydfil who lost her twin babies says she is angry and frustrated. Stillbirth rates in Wales remain higher than the rest of the UK. She's calling on the Welsh Government to do more, as our health reporter Katie Fenton found out.
So how old would George and Henry have been now?
They'd have been turned 8 at the beginning of August.
8 years on from unimaginable loss, Ruth is still fighting. Her twin boys, Henry and George, were stillborn at 28 weeks. Ever since, she's been campaigning for change.
It's devastating. No family should be leaving hospital without their baby in their arms, and it alters the course of your life completely. You know, it impacts relationships, it impacts your job, it impacts your family life, and it's completely devastating, not just for the parents that have gone through it, but for the extended family and siblings as well. And it does change you, it changes you completely.
More than 4 in every 1,000 babies are stillborn in Wales, higher than anywhere else in the UK.
Ruth and I actually met 2 years ago to discuss this very same issue. Yet Wales is still lagging behind the rest of the UK. But we now have a new Welsh Government, and it says this is a top priority, adding that health boards are driving improvements forward, and it's considering introducing targets for reducing stillbirths.
We know that if stillbirth rates in Wales had been the same as the best performing countries in Europe between 2019 and 2023, 1,000 babies would have survived. It's very hard to pinpoint why that might be, but we know that national targets to reduce baby deaths really focuses the mind and can make a difference. We've seen that in other UK nations.
For Ruth, better bereavement support is also needed, something she offers families in her community.
We're hearing the same stories over and over from families, how not only are they maybe not receiving the care they should at the time, but especially afterwards as well.
How hopeful are you that things might finally start to change?
Quietly hopeful. It's easy to agree with us about what needs to be done, but we need to see those changes actually happening.
And Ruth won't stop fighting until she does. Katie Fenton, ITV News, Merthyr Tydfil.
And if you've been affected by any of the issues in Katie's report, you can find support and advice at itv.com/helplines. 9 men have appeared at Cardiff Crown Court accused of historical child sexual exploitation. The men are charged with a total of 40 offences dating back to the 1980s and 1990s. 6 entered pleas of not guilty, whilst another 3 did not enter a plea. Well, our correspondent Richard Morgan was in court today and joins us now. Richard.
Well, John, these charges followed an investigation by Gwent Police into historic child sexual exploitation in Wales between 1985 and 1996. As a result, 9 men were charged with 40 offences. They're aged between 54 and 76. All of them were in court today. 6 of them entered pleas. Shafak Mohammed from Birmingham pleaded not guilty to 11 counts, including rape, aiding and abetting rape and causing prostitution. Syed Mohammed Ashan Takvi from Newport pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of rape. Mohammed Sheikh Abdul Hanan from Edinburgh denied 7 counts, including rape and indecent assault. Kevin Lawrence from Argyll and Bute denied conspiracy to rape and causing prostitution, while Aminur Rahman Chowdhury from North London and Murad Ali from Swansea both denied rape. 3 other men face 13 charges between them, and they didn't enter pleas today. Now, the judge, Tracy Lloyd-Clark, told the defendants that they'd face a trial in January 2028, which could last between 16 and 20 weeks. Gwent Police have previously said its investigation, codenamed Operation Oak, into this case is continuing. In a statement, they said victims were continuing to be provided with support, and they added, "It's vital to the integrity of the investigation that nothing is posted on social media which could impact the court proceedings. We would urge anyone who has suffered abuse or who has concerns about someone who may be suffering to come forward." John.
Richard Morgan at Cardiff Crown Court. Thanks very much indeed. The older brother of a 19-year-old cyclist who died in a serious accident during a race in Portugal will ride in the same race in his sibling's memory. Finlay Tarling died in a crash with a Lights Good vehicle last week. Welsh track and road cyclist Josh Tarling is set to ride in the Vuelta a España tomorrow. Young people are being urged to get their second dose of meningitis B vaccine this week in a bid to protect students from the spread of infection. More than 17,000 received their first dose of the vaccine last month, with a second needed for best protection. It's being offered to those born between the 1st of September 2007 and the 31st of August 2008, as well as to those under 25 attending higher education for the first time this autumn. The Welsh Government is finalising its national energy strategy, which it says will set out its vision for a low-carbon energy system. The strategy is intended to map out Wales' current and future energy requirements and what infrastructure will be needed to meet them. The government says this could eventually reduce bills and make sure the benefits of low-carbon energy are maximised. For years, Cwm near Ebbw Vale has faced the threat of flooding. But after Storm Bert left the village cut off, residents decided they needed to be better prepared for whatever comes next. Now, with wildfires raging on the hills above the village, the community is turning its attention to the new threat and building resilience against a changing climate, as Rhys Williams reports.
For people in Cwm, the number of threats are growing. This week, raging fires accompanied by the constant drone of helicopters. 2 winters ago, it was water. Cwm, sitting at the bottom of the steep Ebbw Valley, was cut off by flooding during Storm Bert. Last Friday night, a fire broke out in the woods just metres above the village.
So the fire was right here?
Just here, if you can look up on the bank in there, that's where it started. But then it came across and took the fence and just above up there then, and was coming down over. Within 10 minutes of us getting up here, the fire had just got out of control. Our family all got together and was obviously beating the fire with any equipment that we had.
But it soon spread out of control. Earlier this week, the army was called in to cut a fire break above the village. But even now, it's still burning.
So we've gone through the floods, and now we've gone through the fire.
Volunteers in Cwm have spent years building up the village's defences against flooding, checking drains, clearing gullies. But fire roaring down the mountain presents a very different threat.
So you feel that there needs to be a clear fire break built above this village?
A clear fire break to help and support not only this village, there's numerous other villages got to be in a similar situation as us, you mean? And, you know, the people who make these decisions have got to understand that, you know, this village on Saturday night was close to devastation.
The Welsh Government says communities like Cwm are increasingly having to adapt to extreme weather due to climate change, and that a long-term response could include fire breaks, controlled burning and wetland restoration. But as extreme heat brings new threats, the Cwm Flood Task Force is likely to be busy during the summer too.
You could just see it tracking down the mountain, and it was like getting closer and closer. And so what we did as a task force was, although we were told not to evacuate, what we did was knocked every door just to ask people to prepare, find out who our vulnerable people were in our community.
Thankfully, the worst of this summer's fires appear to be over. A wildfire summit will now look at the lessons to be learned. But these charred hillsides are a reminder that for communities across the South Wales valleys, preparing for both fire and flood may now be part of the future. Rhys Williams, ITV News, Cwm.
Despite paying their council tax, they've been living among their own waste. The council says it was aware of the concerns. Rob Shelley is in Buckley Forest tonight. Rob, what have the residents there told you then?
Well, John, welcome to a proper North Wales mystery, because up here in Buckley, over those houses there, they get their full bin deliveries. Here in the Hawthorne Meadow estate, this part here have had their bins and all the recycling apparatus delivered, but nothing's been collected yet. And if we spin round this side, haven't had anything at all. There have been no bin deliveries on this new estate so far for people who've been living here for as long as 4 months now. Now, as you can see, it's very real. These are bricks. This is asphalt. They've landscaped the whole place. And yet, according to the Flintshire waste disposal map, this street, this road doesn't exist at the moment, which has made an awful lot of people who are paying their council tax really rather angry. Have you had a single bin collected yet?
No, we've been here since the 8th of June and we've not had any bin collections. I went to Flintshire Connects and put my order for my bins in, which I have. We got told when we moved in that they would be delivered within a week, and we were still waiting, basically.
But even if you had your bins, they wouldn't collect them.
No, they wouldn't
now
have been collected at all.
The bins being emptied was something that you probably didn't think would be a problem.
No, it wouldn't. We thought as soon as we get the house, we'd have the black bin and recycling here ready, but we haven't.
Locals have been full of praise for developers Castle Green, who've put out skips so people can actually get rid of their waste. Now, we spoke to Flintshire, who basically say it's not just as easy as throwing out a new bin route. You've got to work out how lorries can get in, about the schedules for waste disposal. But local councillors here are also a little bit puzzled.
Well, they're paying their council tax. You know, and it's a big thing for people that they actually have the services that they've actually paid for.
We've had several, obviously, residents get in touch with us, but at the same time, half of this estate is social houses, which were put in place by the county council from our housing register. So how they don't have the services that they need when the council knew this was coming.
People have their brand new houses, they've booked their brand new mortgages, they're hoping their brand new bins will actually eventually get a bin emptying and recycling service. But for the moment, here in Hawthorne Meadows, they're still waiting.
Well, let's hope that they get a result pretty soon. Rob, thanks very much indeed. It is 14 minutes past 6, a reminder of tonight's top story. Stillbirth rates in Wales remain the highest in comparison to the rest of the UK. A mother from Merthyr Tydfil who lost her twin babies says she is angry and frustrated at the figures. Her and other bereaved families are calling on the Welsh Government to reduce these numbers and make maternity care safer. And still ahead on the ITV Evening News at 6:30.
Coming up, Prince Harry and 6 others are ordered to pay nearly £10 million in legal fees to the publishers of the Daily Mail after losing their High Court battle. Why we should be set up for a stormy autumn due to an unprecedented El Niño weather event. And Championship winners Coventry City make their Premier League return at the home of the champions. So join us for those stories and more from 6:30.
Well, next tonight, he's one of Hollywood's biggest stars, but Wales, it seems, remains close to his heart. Sir Anthony Hopkins now lives in Los Angeles, but he was born to a baker in Margam near Port Talbot. His acting won him an Oscar for The Silence of the Lambs. But Sir Anthony is also a talented pianist, and at the age of 88, he's just signed a record deal, believe it or not. Well, sitting down with Nina Nana for an exclusive interview, he reveals a return trip to Wales is on his mind.
What does it mean to you to have a record deal?
Well, it's beyond my belief, really. I mean, I can't understand it at all. Well, that sounds a bit naive, but music has always been a part of my life from a very early age. I didn't know what to do when I left school, so I didn't have a chance of going to music college, so I went to the acting college, which was attached to the music college in Wales.
Everybody will know Sir Anthony Hopkins, multi-award winner, 2 Oscars. Not many people will know the music side of you, that you have been composing for many decades, and yet you are somebody who, during those school days, you know, was described as a failure and a dunce.
In those days, when I was a kid, you had to achieve something. If you didn't, you were useless. And maybe some secret little key in me said no. Just over that day, my father said, I don't know what's going to happen to you. I said, one day I'll show you. And I remember the determination that one day I'll show you, both of you.
What's beautiful about your music is that your parents, your grandparents, your home where you were born, the cinema you went to, it's all there. It's clear that Wales is very much on your mind. Do you think about Wales all the time? Often?
I do.
Do you?
All the time. All the time. I Google map, as you can Google things now. Yeah? I go to streets and I move up the street, the photographs of my streets in Wales or anywhere really. But I'm always going back there. I would say most days. I'm back there somehow. The memories are very powerful. And my parents, my mother, my father, and the extraordinary childhood I had really. I mean, I was Dennis the dunce in school. I was clueless. But nevertheless, I was alive.
And it was music you created whilst you were at the Liverpool Playhouse.
The waltz goes on, yes. There was a piano in the green room, and I made this 1964, and I made this little waltz up, and so I developed it, and then I orchestrated it later. And my wife Stella, who was so powerful and telling me I've got to do these things, and she sent it to Andrea Ria in Maastricht.
Did you know that she'd sent it?
No, he phoned me. Wherever I was, he phoned me. He said, I've got a waltz of yours. Your wife sent me. Fully orchestrated.
You're obviously a very determined person. You've been, 50 years sober?
Yeah.
And you were right in the grip of alcoholism, weren't you, in the 70s?
For me, at that time, it was a severe case of life or death. It really was. Because I was doing stupid things. Getting in my car drunk. Here, in Beverly Hills. Not a smart thing to do, and you can kill you can kill people. Because I was a loser. I mean, I was successful in working, but I'd have to get in the bar and drink. And, get it on, That's the macho way in the British actors. And most of the guys I knew, they've all gone. But, God bless them, but for me, I realized at that moment, that morning, I thought, I'm going to be dead. I have a choice. Do I want to live or do I want to die? 2 doors. Boom. Chose life. And the most extraordinary thing happens. Life then chooses you.
Are you going to tour the album? Is Sir Anthony Hopkins going to go on tour?
Deep inside, there's that little niggling voice called the imposter syndrome. And you think, well, okay, but if They like it, and if they don't, they don't.
Carnegie Hall, I know you'd love to be at Carnegie Hall and perform at that great...
I'm going to do a concert there one day.
Do a concert there
next
one day?
Next year.
You're going to do it?
Yeah.
Tony, to Anthony Hopkins, thank you very much indeed for talking to me.
Thank you,
It's
pleasure.
lovely to see you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Endless talent. A reminder that you can sign up to our weekly newsletter for expert analysis from our reporters and correspondents. You've only got to do it once and then it will drop in your inbox every Saturday morning for free. Here are the details.
Just scan the QR code on your screen now where you can sign up on Substack. You only have to do it once, and after that we'll automatically email you our weekly newsletter where you can get more analysis and insight from our reporters on the biggest stories around Wales. It's completely free to sign up and you can read it on your phone and tablet too. Just scan the QR code to sign up, or if you're already on Substack, just search ITV Wales.
Couldn't be simpler. Now, it's that time of year when thousands of revellers descend on Banau Brycheiniog for the Green Man Festival near Krakow. The 4-day arts event features bands, performers and comedians from across the world. Well, Mike Griffiths is there for us this evening. Mike, good to see you. What's the atmosphere like?
Well, Jonathan, all kinds of music represented here, having listened to Sir Anthony's work there. I have actually seen an orchestra on stage here at Green Man, not this year though, but pretty much every other genre you could want that's represented. Now, this is a festival, as part of the name, where ecology and the environment is really intrinsic to everything they do here. They say not in a heavy-handed way, in a way that undergoes everything that they do. But with the situations we've seen across Wales this year, it's really at the forefront of everybody's minds. People are determined to enjoy themselves and do their bit for the environment while they're here too. We've been trying to get a flavour over the last 2 days.
The sounds and spectacle of Welsh collective Mwsog. They blend mystic traditions with high-energy performance and say playing here is the perfect fit.
We're based in Cardiff, but we're from all over Cymru, and we perform lots of original material, but also some folk trad music, but reimagined. So it's inviting people in to learn more about our traditions, our language, our culture.
What's really beautiful about Mwsog is where some of us are at different stages of learning the language too and reclaiming it in different ways. Banau Brycheiniog being the backdrop of this festival is so incredible, and I think for us as Mwsog, it's a dream come true, really.
For the 25,000 festival goers, it's a chance to spot favourite artists and discover new ones too.
When we played the Settlement last year, it was the biggest thing we've ever done, and now this is the biggest thing we've ever done again. And the band lineup has changed, and how we play is different.
You got to sort of really sell the sound, like embody the music. If you feel sort of really tired and strung out 45 minutes after a set, I think you've done the right thing and you've tried to channel the sound through yourself. And also by adding 9 people on the stage, that sort of helps.
Well, the music across its many genres and stages is the obvious draw, but for these crowds, it's about the whole experience, whatever the weather might bring.
There's always something to see, there's always something to do. We usually spend our time just sort of vaguely walking about and seeing what we can find.
We all came last year. It was, if we're honest, because we didn't get Glastonbury tickets. And then we're back. It was the best ever.
Performers and public alike all need food and drink. For local Welsh producers, getting a slot is a headline act in itself.
We're based in Aberdare. We're a small craft independent brewery. We've been supplying Green Man for a number of years now, but mainly on the cask side. So this year they approached us and asked us if we wanted to do a larger volume, if you want.
What's the quantity you've had to produce for this?
20,000 litres of beer.
That's quite something to take on, isn't it?
Yeah. For us, it's amazing.
Environmental concerns have always been a central part of the festival. Little surprise, perhaps, that the long-standing tradition of burning the Green Man figure won't happen this year. Festival passes have been donated to local firefighters.
They're getting 80 day tickets, so 80 families are coming here to the festival and, you know, enjoying the event for the day. There's stuff that's coming on this year that we were planning nearly 2 years in advance, so that it never ends, it's always rolling over. And of course next year is going to be our 25th anniversary, so that's going to be a massive one.
But before that, there's tonight and 2 more full days of performance. The music will make memories to last until next year.
Well, time to talk all things weather. Ruth is here. I was reading in the paper this week that it's going to be a very warm September. Any truth in that?
Yeah, there's a lot of truth in it. I mean, don't forget, you know, it's still officially meteorological summer at the moment. We've got a couple of weeks to go. Where are we? We're sort of middle of, I don't know what day it is, let alone what month it is. Middle of August, I think, isn't it? So yeah, we've got a couple of weeks to go. And then, yes, there's possibly that the heat could return. Not likely to be quite as extreme, thank goodness, as it has been. But I think it's rain that's the real talking point at the moment, isn't it? Green man not looking particularly green there.
Yellow
and
man.
much of Wales looking pretty desperate as well. Of course, the whole of Wales still in drought conditions. We have had a bit of rain, but clearly not enough to make much of a difference. So I think the hope is that we're going to get a bit more of that rainfall. And yeah, we did have rain out there over the last couple of hours, but it's been kind of quite tricky. Let's take a little look at the radar and you can see exactly where that rain has been. This was as we started the day. It pushed into northern areas and then effectively sunk its way southwards. Quite a lot of rain falling in a short space of time, but of course onto ground that is just dry and cracked. So in most cases, the water just sort of bounces off, but there have been a few issues with a little bit of surface spray on the road. So just be careful because we haven't quite finished with the thunderstorms just yet. And speaking of the outlook for the next couple of days, there will be further thundery downpours, maybe some hail thrown in for good measure, but the general setup for the coming weekend is fine and settled. And then as we head into next week, the temperatures will start to feel a little bit warmer. It's felt very average today, hasn't it? But also turning increasingly unsettled. So we're going to bounce around a little bit. If I show you what's happening on the bigger picture. So high pressure develops and that settles things down for the coming weekend. It's not going to be wall-to-wall sunshine, but there will be plenty of sunny spells, but largely dry conditions with perhaps just a chance of a few showers, maybe some thundery downpours. And then low pressure building that will turn things unsettled as we head into next week. The jet stream, though, is the real feature. Northerly air dominating at the moment, but over the next few days, this will start to switch and we'll see something a little warmer coming up from the continent. So as I said, it's a bit hit and miss.
Expect clear skies, island vibes and afternoons made for exploring. TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
Well, we've still got a few sharp showers dotted around. Just be careful on the roads, particularly across the south and the southwest. As we head through this evening, though, they will tend to fizzle out. And for much of Wales, it's going to be a quiet night. We'll see clear skies developing and temperatures actually, particularly that little bit further inland, are going to feel quite chilly, lows of 6 or 7, with further showers just nudging into far northern areas as we wake to the start of the weekend. These could well continue during the course of tomorrow morning, but again, elsewhere, a pretty decent setup. As I've been saying, high pressure bringing some largely fine and dry weather. The clouds starting to lift away from western areas as we head into the afternoon. So I think west will be best in terms of blue sky and sunshine. But the temperatures are struggling, particularly out towards coastal areas. A little bit more of a breeze here, 17 or 18. Inland, 20 at best. So roundabout or perhaps just slightly above average with high levels of UV. So don't get caught out. It's still quite strong in the sunshine out there. As we head through Saturday evening then, again, the high pressure I've been talking about keeps things settled and we'll see largely clear skies, which does in turn means quite a drop in temperature. We could in some areas see lows of 2 or 3 degrees, which could be a little bit of a shock to the system as we wake to Sunday morning. But by way of compensation, it's going to be a beautiful start to the day with blue sky and sunshine. A few little bits and pieces of high-level cloud cropping up from time to time, but I think on the whole, it's not going to put a damper on your day. And actually, as the temperatures start to recover, it could be slightly warmer into the afternoon than Saturday, actually. Highs of 20 or 21, high levels of UV all over again. As we head then into the outlook period, so the start of next week, the temperatures will continue to rise, turning a little bit warmer, but also turning unsettled for next week as well.
TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
There you go, John. Enjoy the sunshine this weekend because I think it's going to be in short supply as we head into next week. But for a lot of us, that is perhaps no bad thing.
My garden is very pleased.
Yeah.
That's all from us tonight. Thanks for your company this week. Hannah Thomas will be back with the late update after news at 10. But until then, from all of us on the programme, thanks for watching.